Tech, the mic. There you go.
Yeah, oh, my bad. Oh, my bad.
I looked at Discord. I'm like, oh god, don't.
So anyways, in case you guys missed it, I was talking and I forgot to unmute myself, but that's totally okay. I didn't say anything cool. It was just a dumb Duke Nukem thing, and then I introduced Tech, and then it was an awkward silence, and then Tech started talking. So anyways, what's up?
What up?
So how are you doing? Because I have Tech and Anil here.
Hey, what's up? Per usual.
Yeah, per usual.
I'm good. Honestly, I'm doing great.
Oh yeah?
To be honest. Yeah, I'm doing real good. I mean, honestly, I'm just doing the same, to be honest. So, that's pretty good.
I mean, for me, I was literally scratching myself a little bit. That's why my mic was still muted, so my bad.
Oh, dang it, Tech.
Whoa.
Yikes, dude. Yikes. So let's start off by talking about some of the games we've been playing this week and things of that nature. Tech, what have you been? Tech, you mainly play Dead by Daylight, right?
Yeah,
that's kind of your thing.
Yep.
You've also been playing some Detroit Becomes Human. Want to talk about that? You like?
Oh my god.
My god, Detroit. Oh my god.
I guess it's something we'll definitely talk about.
I actually wrote it down because I want to talk about it too.
There you go. Did you play any of it, Lily, or are you still kind of? Did you rent it or did you borrow it?
I borrowed it and I got to play a little bit, but then a game I've been looking forward to came out and I had to switch to that. What game was I'm so sorry. It's Agony.
Oh, no, okay, hold on. We'll talk. Okay, sidetrack. Let's talk about that real quick, because I've heard not so good things about Agony. I don't know if I don't know, Tech, if you've heard of that game.
I've seen it. I haven't. I've never actually. I've heard about it, but I haven't actually seen gameplay.
Yeah, I was watching someone play it, and it's just. I mean, it looks cool. Like the concept looks cool, but from what I heard is there's not a whole lot of quote unquote gameplay. It's kind of just walking through and doing stuff. I think.
Basically, but see, I knew that coming into it.
Oh yeah.
I have legitimately been following this game for so long, and I don't remember when I started following it. But when I was at work and I was unboxing this, and I didn't really pay attention to the due date because I was there's so many games that I want, and it's really hard for me to decide. And then I unboxed it, and there was Agony, and I'm like, oh my god, when does this come out? And then I got the due date, and then I begged my boss to let me take it home. So I was like, you don't understand, I've waited years for this game and I need it in my life. And he was like, you can have it for one day. And I was like, okay. And I was like, yes.
So were you able to play it? Did you play a little bit of it?
Oh yeah, and then we ended up getting it for PC.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on it?
See, I like it. I like this type of stuff because I knew what I was getting into when I saw the trailer, when I read the synopsis of the game. I knew what I was getting into. And so it's exactly what I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I was just say I like just the concept of that it's more of a storytelling game. And it just makes me happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when I saw it, I thought it was gonna be kind of shoot, what's that game that PewDiePie played way back in the I hate to reference PewDiePie, but
I have no idea.
It's you have a lantern and you slowly go insane. The more you
The story of my life. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. I mean, you're right.
What type of game was it though?
It was a first person. It was a scary game, but
it wasn't Outcast, was it?
No. Outlast.
The Outlast?
I mean, some of
Outcast.
Okay, now ladies. Yeah.
Dude, what's the name of the game? I'm gonna have to look it up. But
was it Fear?
Oh, okay. We'll go with Layers of Fear. It was kind of like that too. I was thinking it was kind of like Layers of Fear. It's gonna have kind of some puzzles to do, but it's gonna have this really creepy vibe and things like that.
Oh, wait a minute. Is this that a dungeon game or something like that?
Kind of. I can't remember. I'm gonna remember it as soon as we're done with this podcast and be like, That is the name of the game.
God
you know?
bless, dude.
Yeah, God bless.
Wait, is it Doodle Jump? It has to be Doodle Jump, right?
Yeah, that's what it is. But the thing is that I looked at it, I'm like, okay, so it's gonna be like a super creepy game, and it's just gonna be good. But I don't know. I looked at it and it was definitely creepy. It had some creepy vibes to it, but it wasn't. I don't know. There was something missing, and I don't know what it was.
Well, it definitely isn't them titties. Holy crap!
Yeah, I heard that there's a lot of
That's why. Yeah, see, that's kind of why. Like, I'm playing it, but like, I don't want to stream it just because there's like so many tits, and like, I get it. Like, if what?
What is it, Conan Exiles?
Is there any songs anywhere? God bless.
No, I don't. I'm pretty sure there's not. But no, like, I really want to stream it, and like, I understand, like, with Twitch, if it's storyline related, for the most part, they allow it, right?
Yeah.
And
but if there is stuff like that on it, just don't focus too much on it, because then that'll get you.
But it's titties, and I like them titties, and I like that. But that's how it's really. But like, I'm teetering on if I want to stream it or not.
Yeah, I think I don't know. It's a struggle because I feel like a lot of people ended up having that same like thought process of like, should I stream it? Because I already had some bad reviews. People had already played it and didn't give it great ratings. Excuse me. But also the fact that it's very open. It has tits, it has boobs and nipples and things like that. And like, I understand like The Witcher has some stuff like that. It has some sex moments and things like that, but people are kind of like, do I stream it or whatever? And they're kind of worried about like Twitch chat because it could kind of sway the way that Twitch chat works and whatnot. So I say, just go for it. And if it gets to the point where it's uncomfortable and Twitch chat gets a little, weird about it, then
you're assuming I get followers that actually watch me play.
It's whatever. Just in case, you never know. It could be like a Minecraft situation where it's like, you just stream Minecraft for a second and all of a sudden you just get raided somewhere randomly out of nowhere. I'm like, okay, time to go. We're out.
Yeah, it happens,
Yeah.
I always joke about not getting viewers. Like, I get viewers like once in a while.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe Agony, maybe that's gonna be your main game. You're gonna be an Agony main streamer. Very niche group, could happen. But
Coconut?
Yep. I don't know. Agony, I don't think I'd ever play it. I want to say I would never play it, but I don't think I'd stream it, I guess.
It's definitely a game that is like advertised and developed for certain people. Like, it's not everybody's game. And I feel like the people who didn't rate it good were the people who were like, thinking it was going to be something completely different without like actually doing the research.
Yeah.
But that's my opinion. Like, I love this game. I think the people who say it was a bad game is wrong, but it's very niche. Yeah. Like, don't go into it like thinking it's going to be like your standard RPG, because it's not. It's 100% not. And it's just like, it's almost like Anna in a sense, where it's just like a story-based game that's very psychological and kind of fucks you up in a bit.
Yeah.
God,
is that for PC? I've never heard of that game.
Which one, Anna?
Yeah.
Yeah, Anna's on PC. I've actually streamed it, and I screamed like a little girl a few times.
So what's the deal? What's the point?
Hey,
basically, you wake up, and I call it. I'm pretty sure. Yes. But it's mostly like it feels like a dream. Like, you wake up in a dream and like you're starting to remember stuff, and you solve puzzles to get further and further in the game. But the further you get, the easier it is for you to wake up and not remember who Anna is and not really like know what's going on. So like the big idea is you're following like your memories and like kind of like what you think is supposed to go on, and you're like, okay, well, I remember Anna did this or Anna does this, and it's just it's a psychological horror game. Basically, there's a lot of little mini jump scares, there's a lot of weird whispers, and then there's mannequins.
Oh god.
And like they make you get super Dude, it's actually really funny. One of the scenes that got me, and I mean got me real good, was I went into this room and there were 3 mannequins and they were praying. And I was like, oh, okay, so this is kind of cool. So I'm standing there watching them. And then all of a sudden there's a huge explosion and the 3 mannequins disappear. And I'm like, oh God. I was like, oh God. Like, I'm starting to freak out because I'm like, where are the mannequins? Like, this is not good. I don't like this stuff. And all of a sudden you see a mannequin hand come out from the side of the screen and like start to like go over your face. And I jumped and I screamed like a little girl. And I'm like, okay, I'm done.
All right, I'm out. We had plenty of fun. We're done.
I'll have to tweet you that clip because I mean it's why I don't like mannequins. Like, I'm always scared. Like, Doctor Who and Goosebumps like just screwed me as a child.
Yeah. There you go. So yeah, Agni seems pretty cool. I might not check it out, but maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, if I decide I'm gonna stream it, I mean,
yeah,
you can watch me.
Definitely let me know. I'll watch that for sure, because I think that's one of the things is that the people that I did watch didn't really, I don't know, they really weren't into the game, but it would be interesting to see someone that took more interest in the game and see how they play it, because that kind of like sells the game. If you're having fun with the game, then you're going to be like, oh, this game, looks cool because this person's having fun playing it.
If it makes you feel any better, every time I boot up the game, I like started bouncing in my chair because I'm like, oh, I get to play it.
I'm so excited. Listen. Interesting. All right, so let's move on over to Detroit Become Human. Lily, you haven't touched the game yet, right?
What game? I'm so sorry.
Detroit Becomes Human.
Kind of a little bit. I got to literally what the demo was.
Okay. All right. So we won't go into too much like spoiler alerts, but I freaking love the game, dude.
Dude, it was just what I was gonna say about that was like, when Heavy Rain came out, Heavy Rain was like, I think the first type of game that was like that QTE and very heavily story driven game that I've seen, and like for the first time in my life. I played that and loved it. Then when Beyond Two Souls came out, same company with Quantic Dream, I was like, thank God. I was like, and then you had Ellen Page, amazing actress, and just another phenomenal, deep driven, got you like into the game story.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, so they haven't made a game in a while, and they've been talking about it, and then all of a sudden it comes out, and it's just like, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's the same thing, but just I can't even. I was thinking about my decisions like throughout the whole game, like, oh, damn it.
Yeah.
But it really gets you into it. Like you feel like you're that character.
Exactly.
And when a game can do that to you, it's a good game. I feel, in my opinion, if a game can like really drag you into it, make you feel like you're part of it, it's a good game.
Yeah. I felt the exact same way about the game. There are decisions that I made like right off the get-go, and I just like instantly questioned myself once it went through. I'm like, was that the best decision that I could have made in that situation? Could there have been something completely different? And it makes you want to replay the game and try in a different scenario. I watched Tech's version, and with Tech, he went more of an aggressive approach with Marcus, with the androids versus the humans and whatnot.
Yep.
I went more passive and more, I went more passive with my approach. And it was interesting to see how North reacted to Tech's playthrough. Yo, Tech got the kiss, dude. Tech got the kiss at the end.
Excuse me, twice?
Okay, or whatever, dude, whatever. And then in mine, it was kind of more of a friendly, like, everything's good. We're gonna live peaceful and whatnot together. But it's interesting to see the different concepts, and I think Boston was playing it as well, and he ended up like killing Connor multiple times.
I don't know. That's what, like, when he told me that, like, and I saw some of his clips. I'm like, how?
Right, like how, like what? But it's a thing. Yeah, it's decisions. Everybody has their own thing. And I want to do another playthrough of where I go the more aggressive approach where you went through on your playthrough with Marcus, and I don't know. I want to make a little bit different decisions with like Alice and Kara and things like that. But the characters, like the characters you fall in love with, and it's like 3 separate stories, but they all connect. You know, somewhere in the timeline of the game, and that is something that was super interesting to me. Was like even though it was telling 3 different stories, they all kind of intertwined in some sort of sense, which was super cool.
But that's what makes the game is like even more better because the fact that you have one story that if you do something, you know, whatever you do on that story is going to affect this person's story. Whatever you do on that person's story is going to affect the other person's story. In your mind, you're like, okay, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do?
Right. It's the whole like butterfly effect and like ripple thing. Yeah.
But what I was gonna say, which difficulty did you do it on? Because when I first looked at it, I'm like, there's 2. There's like like a casual, and there's more, and then it was the other one. Which one did you do?
I did the experienced one.
Okay. I did the other one.
Yeah. I did that. I did the more experienced version of it. Because when I played the demo, I was like, that's what I did, and it was like, okay, this is not too bad. So I ended up doing the more experienced version of that. But I want to play it again. I want to go over it and do a completely different version of the story. And the only other game that I have that was somewhat the same or kind of in the same group was Until Dawn, where decisions kind of affected.
That was another amazing game.
But with Until Dawn, I felt like there wasn't, for me, it wasn't a whole lot of replayability on that. I played it once and I was like, all right, I'm good. It's a good game. You know, like I had fun. Do I want to play over it again? Do I want to play it again? Not really. But with like Detroit, I wanna unlock these different, you know, trees and figure out the story and everything like that.
Well, let me ask you about that too. Like when you saw the flow chart come through after the game, and you're like, the heck did I miss? And you're just looking at you look at the whole thing, you're like, oh, I must have done something wrong because I missed that, I missed that, I missed that.
Yeah.
You go back to yourself like, God, can I just play this again and just like not give a care in the world?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There was one moment, actually 2 moments that I replayed the game. One of the first ones I replayed was when I got Kara. Is it Kara or Kara? Kara, right? Kara. I got Kara killed. That was my bad, dude. That was my bad. And then I got yelled at so hard by people in chat. And then when I went to go replay, this is the thing, is that the AI, the little robot lady, the android at the beginning, also got mad at me too. It's like, how could you? She would, how could you kill her? You know, I'm like, I'm sorry. I felt bad. It's like, I've already, like, it's just, it was bad. And it was, I mean, it's an interesting game because it's like, you don't necessarily just worry about what's going on in the game. It's like, once you're done with the game, you still have the android at the main menu that kind of interacts with you as well. Even with like the survey and towards at the very end, it's an interesting question that she asked.
Dude, I was looking at that. I was like, what do I do? What do I do?
Yeah.
What do I do?
I mean, I didn't want to. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
it's
say
a simple. Yeah, it's a simple question, but just kind of like you really think about it. I'm like, okay, I don't know, you know. But that's definitely sprung another interesting games I want to play. So I got the digital deluxe version of that, and I got Heavy Rain with that as well. So I'm gonna download that and probably do a playthrough of that as well because I've heard nothing but good things about that game also. So,
You never played Heavy Rain?
What?
No, I never played Heavy Rain, but I've watched people play Heavy Rain.
Oh, dude, come on.
Yeah, I mean, that was like one of those things where like I've watched other people play it, so it's like, there's really a reason for me to play it, you know. But now it's kind of like I'm gonna play it, even though I've watched other people play it.
Yeah, no, seriously, like if you like Detroit, you will like Heavy Rain.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
And Beyond Two Souls is probably another good one as well too. Yeah.
I was saying this. Beyond Two Souls was a good game to like in between. But I would say like my favorites would be Detroit, Heavy Rain, then Beyond Two Souls. I only say a little bit of meaning because Ellen Page, phenomenal actress, also a beautiful actress,
Yeah.
and it was also a really really good, really good game. So I mean, you
Yeah.
can't go wrong with either three of them.
Yeah. I'll have to check it out. That's definitely the next game that I'm super interested in. But yeah. So, we'll go off with Tech still here. So Tech mainly plays Dead by Daylight. How's that been treating you?
That's good. I mean, I just got done playing the recent public test build, which is like the kind of a test plan like the test environment of Dead by Daylight.
Yeah. So how's the new Killer the Clown? What are your thoughts on that?
I think like when you first look at the clown killer, he's like he looks weird. Like I feel like he's gonna eat me more than he's gonna hit me with a weapon. Like he's just like he's have you seen the movie the one of the original Batmans with the Batman with Danny DeVito, with him as the Penguin?
Yeah.
He's literally walking in the map like the Penguin from like Batman. And I'm just like,
I can see that.
Do I laugh or do I just like am I scared? And a lot of people that don't realize this is that a lot of people have clown phobias.
Ooh, yeah.
And it's like, and we were all thinking, like, all the veteran DVD players, like, well, who's going to be the killer? We were thinking, like, was it going to be a ringmaster? Is it going to be someone else? But when they literally dropped the clown, we're like, is that going to affect the community? Because like, some people not going to want to play it because they're scared of clowns.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what are you gonna do to those people? Are you gonna continue to swear? We'll keep the clown. I mean, obviously they're gonna keep the clown at this point.
Yeah.
But his weapon is like he literally throws gas bombs at you, and you get disoriented, you slow down. If you're working like on a skill check, and he throws it at you, it disturbs that. So it's good, but the survivor, oh my goodness.
Well, yeah,
she
good?
is thick.
Thick, God, dude, you liking that?
Oh my, like when well, they're also bringing up the new Dead by Daylight store in the game where you can actually buy skins for your characters, and this you can literally rotate the character. Like I just see the whole picture. My God, like if you compare it to like all the other female characters, even the male characters. She has the biggest butt of all characters.
So she takes over the Meg butt, huh?
Oh, I would say it's probably twice the size as the Meg butt.
Woo! God bless, dude.
And but the only thing, the annoying part with her in the game is her screech, like when she gets put on a hook. A lot of people kind of gets annoyed by that, but the whole body just
you're liking it, huh? There you go.
Oh, dude, you don't understand, man. Like, like I was like, I'm saying, like, do I just stare at this or do I actually?
Hey guys, I'm playing Dead by Day. Hold on, guys, I'll be right back. You're just standing there in the lobby the entire time, like, okay, you got it, dude. Just taking a little bit of a break, dude. So with the cosmetic store and everything like that, how do you get the cosmetics? Is it through blood shards or points or the whatever?
So with the new patch coming up, what's gonna happen is that you're going to basically those shards. It's like those right next to you. You have your blood points and you have your shards. Yeah. The shards is now going to be unlimited. There's going to be no cap to your shards. Yes, you still have the 1 million blood point cap that you still haven't used yet.
I don't know what you're talking about, dude.
Triggered the crap out of me.
Yeah.
But you can use those shards to purchase the skins, or you can get this thing called when you level up your character, because now they have a new leveling system. It's not like you have the rank. You have your rank of this character, you have the level of your individual character, but you have a personal level.
Okay.
Kind of like like if you played an RPG game, like I'm level 1, I'm level 3, 10, whatever.
Right.
And when you get those levels, you get shards, and you get these things called auric cells. And these auric cells is what is the store currency.
Okay.
Now, the one thing that's very, very interesting, which I mean, a lot of people kind of disagree on it, is that it's kind of like in like with Fortnite and kind of like with Overwatch, you can purchase currency through like mini transactions to get the store currency and purchase skins. So it's kind of like pay to win for the skins.
Yeah.
But I feel like that money that goes towards to buy that currency helps out the development team do stuff.
Right.
Not many people think it that way. They think, oh, they're just gonna get money and just gonna run with it. Like, no, it's gonna help the game get better with these purchases. And the thing is, and a lot of people agree with me with this, that I think that's gonna help the game because a lot of people are gonna want the skins. I mean, some people didn't like most of them, but some of the people like, especially with the whole naked the shirtless David that they have.
Yeah.
Everybody and their mother is gonna want to have that, and I don't. I didn't get it when I did the public test, but I was actually very pissed at myself. Like,
yeah,
I picked clothing on the new Survivor. They're getting the shirt.
Hey, there you go.
I was like, dang it.
Yeah,
but it's like I felt like the new Trapper skin. It literally looks like Andre the Giant.
No way, really?
Dude, it literally looks like he's about to go like.
Oh god! I forgot that the Killers got new skins too. I actually no, never mind. I think I knew that, but I think I watched you and the Huntress had a really cool skin.
Yeah, she has like this. It's like it literally looks like they skinned the lion and they put it on top of her.
Yo, that's pretty cool. That's
and at her, she actually has her head inside like the lion's head that kind of opens while she's moving.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know. I understand cosmetics are a new craze. I mean, it's not really a new craze because I've always seen cosmetics through like CS:GO with like the loot crates and the knife skins and things like that. But I think it really took off and like League of Legends always had cosmetics too, but I think it really took off with like Fortnite. Not really took off, but got more light with like Fortnite and their cosmetics. And obviously the money, or I'm assuming the money goes to the development team to develop the game more and whatnot. So I completely agree with you. I don't see buying the cosmetics as a bad thing because it's not going to give you like any sort of gain within the game. You know, like it's not like buying perks. If that was a thing, then I could see a bit of an issue and people being, upset about it. But buying cosmetics, I don't think is a huge effect to the game. Because...
the one thing that people don't realize is that there's like with the community, they've done a lot of like art projects individually and sent that to like the developers, and that actually some of those art projects has actually become the skins of the current survivors today. So it's more of a fact like someone does art and now it's represented in a video game, and it's just like it's that type of a feeling that for the artist, like, hey, look, there's my skin. Like it's like that. It's that extra like proud factor that for that individual that they put so much work into it. And now look, this is what it is. It's not the fact that I had to use my own money to get this. Like, well, you're doing that, but you also support not only the development team in the game, but you're also supporting the actual artists because obviously it's going to give them recognition to other people all over the place, and it's going to help them. Like, oh wait, weren't you the one who did design that? That skin. Like, yeah, that was me. Oh, maybe you can help us do this. So it's like, it's good karma. It's just like it's going to help out people. It's not just skins.
Right, and that's the thing is that like I feel like Dead by Daylight's really involved with their community and whatnot. Like when I was playing Dead by Daylight a lot, I would always go to the videos or the streams that they had, and they would talk about the bug changes that they were doing and things like that. And it just felt like it was a community, and it really listened to people that were talking about, the game. And I don't think you really see that a lot of these days, especially with a game that's kind of has the traction that Dead by Daylight has. I want to see like Dead by Daylight is kind of like, I don't want to say indie, because it's bigger than just being an indie project, but something that's fairly large, and them to still listen to their community and fix things and work with them is, it's crazy, and it's good. Something that I feel like a lot of companies should look into and do. But when you have like a AAA title, it's kind of like, all right, here's the final product, there it is, on to the next.
Well,
So,
I mean, we put up a good point. Like, if you look at like, let's say Fortnite with Epic, like, do you really see them like an Epic stream on Twitch to talk about like, hey, look at this. This is the latest update patch. Here's we're gonna explain what's happening, what's going on. Here are the changes. Here's the things. Oh, by the way, we're gonna have these new projects coming in along the line that's gonna help improve the game, or it's gonna make it more aesthetically pleasing. No. Do you see it? Do you see like this? Do you see the CS:GO? Do you see CS:GO do a stream on Twitch to say, hey, look, we're gonna have these boxes pop open, and we're gonna, these gonna have these skins for these knives and these gloves and whatever.
Yeah.
No, but you see Dead by Daylight and their management and their development team go on Twitch and explain it to everyone to try to let the community know what's going on. And I feel like I feel like that's one of the only games I've seen that their development team goes on Twitch, streams it, and lets everyone know what's happening.
Yeah.
And I think that people don't see that, but I'm like a guy that likes to see these, and the other thing too, I mean, people think, oh, Dead by Daylight is not a big game on Twitch. It may not be, but compared to like, Overwatch, CS:GO, Fortnite, but the thing that people don't realize, it's a consistent game. Like, you still see people with high numbers in those games compared to like other titles like Friday the 13th. That game, when that came out, it was like, it was big for like maybe a good solid half a year, and then went.
Yeah.
But then compare that to Dead by Daylight, which it stayed consistent. Maybe it'll have some down days, but then it'll have some up days.
Yeah. I think we kind of talked about it before, but like with the trend with games, a lot of times it's kind of like the flavor of the week. It's popular for like a week or two, and then it kind of just falls off the earth. It's like a formula that's so hard to get, because Dead by Daylight has their own thing where it's not really the same thing over and over. It's not super repetitious. Yeah, you're going and you're fixing generators, but then you could get this one killer that's either really, really good and you can get mad from it, or you can go against a killer that has a little bit of fun with with the survivors and things like that. You have your good games, you have your bad games. Nothing really seems the same, and so it kind of removes the monotone of the game where it's like, okay, fix generators, whatever, because you got little side things that you have to do, but the killer also makes the game what it is and things like that. So I don't know, finding a game that's like that is very hard, because I don't think a lot of people have that right formula to make it successful. And Friday the 13th was like one of those things that like I thought was going to be really good, but it was just, I don't know.
I mean, here's the thing: Friday the 13th was a good game, but it goes back to like your development team. Like, do you actually give a crap about the game? And there's times where there were times when the Xbox console's not working, but the PS4 is. But then PS4 is not working, but the Xbox and PC is working. And then they'll say like, "Oh, we're down for service maintenance because we don't feel like doing it now, and we're just gonna let the game just be bugged out and not just move forward."
Yeah,
I was gonna add like that's why I think when they dropped Death Garden over in PAX East, when I knew that was also being done by the same developers as Dead by Daylight, Behavior Studios, I was like, dude, I gotta get into this game too as well. Which I'm really I can't wait for the the open beta coming out at the end of this month for Death Garden.
Now, so I want you to be brutally honest with Death Garden. What are your thoughts on it? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Or are you kind of like indifferent right now? You're wanting to wait for more stuff to come out?
I think when I first tested it out at PAX, I kind of had an idea how to play the game, but when you it's different from watching it to actually playing it, you know.
Yeah.
And it was very interesting, very high energy, very very intense. Like I was saying to a lot of people with Dead by Daylight, compare Dead by Daylight and Death Garden. Well, you can't really compare the two because they're two different types of games, but it's the same, you know, like a survival game.
Yeah.
But Death Garden is is faster, way more intense because you were literally like you have the hunter could come from anywhere, just like with the killer in Dead by Daylight, but literally like the hunter could like snipe you from across the map and
Yeah.
down you. I think it's gonna be a good game. Just kind of like the same thing with like Dead by Daylight, and it's as far as like, oh, the killer's too strong, or the killer. It just needs a little bit more balance
Yeah.
with the game, and I think it'll be fun. Because I like Death Garden because there's more objectives. And it's really really team based. You really had it's not like in Dead by Daylight. Oh, I could play solo or I could play with my friends. Whereas purely Death Garden, it is team based. You can't play solo in that game because you will not win.
Yeah.
So I liked it. I think it just needs more balance in my opinion.
I think from the outside looking in, the game looks interesting. It was hard for me to kind of get a grasp on what's going on. When I saw people playing it, because it was so, like you said, it was pretty fast paced. So the people that already knew what the game was all about they were just kind of doing their own thing. They were doing the objectives and things like that. And I'm just sitting here. I'm like, what's going on? So why are you hitting an arrow on this thing? And why are you getting these parts and whatnot? So, I mean, it seems interesting. I personally don't know if it's going to be successful or not. It could be, on par of like Dead by Daylight and with its success and things like that. Or it could be, like a Friday the 13th where it's like good for maybe like a week or maybe a month. And then, people might just go back to what they know. And that might just be Dead by Daylight. I'm assuming a lot of people that, play Dead by Daylight also went to Death Garden. And I'm assuming a lot of them are going to kind of pepper in when Death Garden comes out. They're going to go from like Death Garden back to Dead by Daylight. Definitely. So they're going to like, swap between the two and whatnot. But
that's the thing though. It's like I'm really hoping that I'm possibly either Death Garden or even last year comes out. When that comes out, that it could be the game for particular people to get to the next level. I don't know, but it's I would say Death Garden it's a change of pace for Dead by Daylight, and from everyone, all the development team that I met over at PAX with Death Garden, super chill, super cool, very knowledgeable about their product, and you could talk to them for like hours. Like when we had the Dead by Daylight party at PAX, and they were there, I was talking for at least one developer for like an hour, just going through it, getting excited about it, and I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's a young. We'll see. It's still going through its works like any other game, and where it's gonna take off or not. So
so kind of branch off a little bit of that. You're kind of doing this thing on stream called Content Over Everything.
Yes.
What's going on with that? What are you trying to say, Tech?
What? So here's a lot like with any stream, like even myself, when people go like when they're done their stream, they'll sometimes go to like their dashboard, see their numbers, see how well they did. They'll go to their achievements, see where they're at percentage wise to either go to affiliate or partnership or whatever the case may be. And it obviously with anyone, when you get when you see your numbers, you're like, what the actual hell is going on? Like what am I doing wrong? And I'll get the person down, and then they're not gonna either want to stream or they're not gonna care because no one else is gonna care. But people, I think, need to more and more. This goes back to the whole video I did on YouTube with the positivity, is that
Mhm.
people need to realize that if you feel you have great content and you have an awesome, if you have great content, no matter what it is, it's gonna be bigger than your numbers, and if you bigger than if you get partnership or not. Because at the end of the day, we're here, we're all here we're all here as a community. I feel, in my opinion, that we're here to help each other grow and be bigger to what you really think you are. Because here's the thing, here's the other thing. If I didn't know Unicorn Muffins community, like with Rain and her, and then your community, and like Tina Tavin's community, and Crazy Redheads community, like if I didn't know those communities and be a part of them, I wouldn't grow, because I would just say, hey, I'm just gonna stick with my community. We're gonna grow together, whatever. Well, how are you gonna know? How are you gonna grow if you don't be a part of the other communities? And people, what's the one thing people talk about with when it comes to streaming? Like, oh, this guy's funny because he does this, or this chick is funny because she belches really loud in the microphone. Like, like or
Talking about Lily D. What do you mean? What are you trying to say?
I'm just using this as an example, okay?
It's a barking spotter, okay? Listen.
Or I see this one girl who, when she gets like a gifted sub, she does this whole mirroring image of her on a webcam, and she's literally giving herself a kiss and making out with her. Like,
Oh,
that
Whoa.
kind of stuff.
All
like,
right,
sinks into
next
people.
time I get a sub.
Alright, there you go.
But
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying, is that the content of a streamer is what I feel is more important than anything as a broadcaster. Because
Oh,
if
yeah,
you don't have the content, it doesn't matter how many people are in your stream. Are they there just to say, I don't, I'm here because I'm bored, I don't know what to do, or
Yeah.
are they gonna be there because they enjoy what you do, and then that just brings upon everything else. Like, if they enjoy what you do, did they see how well you do with your community and how interactive you are with your chat? But it all starts with content.
Right.
So my my goal was that to make this movement where I know Twitch will never get to that point, but I feel like they need to see that it's not about the numbers. Like, look at there's so many broadcasters I know that don't have the numbers, but they have the content, like other partner streamers on Twitch and affiliates that have this similar content, and it's funny, but one person has more numbers than the other. And people just need to not think about that. They just need to think about, it's your content, it's what you do for your stream that's gonna get you to the next level. It's not gonna be numbers, it's not gonna be sub counts, it's not gonna be, who gave the biggest cheer, or
Right.
I have 50,000 followers. Like, who really is like, oh my god, this person has 50,000 followers. Oh my god, I'm gonna go watch them. It's great.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
it's not gonna be the case.
I'm gonna
Okay,
say I was excited when I got like 50 followers. I'm like, oh my god, 50 people care about me. Like, look at that.
There you go.
But see, that's the thing, that you feel good about that. And that's what you really should feel good about, regardless of the number count. Because as long as you feel good as a broadcaster, and feel like what you have is good, and it's good enough for your community, and it's it makes it entertaining, and in a positive manner. That's all that really matters.
I mean, not
It's
to
not-
toot my own horn or anything, but I think I'm the best, you know?
All right.
And Neil says that all the time, so I understand.
Yeah, you know what? I'm the best. I'm the best. Mercy out there. I'm healing everybody.
That's Mercy Main, okay.
Yeah, Mercy Main. Dude.
I heard Slappy's a better Mercy Main than you.
Oh.
Calm down. Fake news. Listen, whatever you hear on Wikipedia,
Woo!
calm down. All right. But I mean, I agree. I agree with what you're saying. Is whatever you play, make sure it's something that you absolutely love, and it's something that you're there for. Because I don't look at my viewer count. I don't look at my sub count or anything of that nature. I'm just kind of like, you know what? I'm here to stream and that's it. You know, if people want to come out and hang out, by all means, come hang out and we'll chill. You know? Do you think the game that you play is a huge factor of as far as like success on Twitch and things like that? Because I know you mainly play Dead by Daylight and you've gotten a lot of success from Dead by Daylight. Do you think becoming a variety streamer and things like that, have you seen small successes and kind of branching out to other things, or are you mainly seeing a lot of the success through sticking to one game?
I mean, honestly, in my opinion, I feel like people that kind of like that kind of starting off new, like I did the same thing. Like I started off new. The first game I played was Doom 3, like on the PC. Then I moved over to old school Doom, and I did old school games, and I went to CS:GO, and I went to H1Z1. And the thing about that is that it's not, your game isn't consistent. So, I mean, at some point, you kind of need to go to like that one game and focus on it and grow upon that. And then once you get to that big, that step, let's say, for example, partner, then maybe from there, try different things. Like maybe do some more variety, or maybe play your main game for 3 streams and do 2 variety things.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that if you play a game, if you play different games from here to there, it's to your comfort as a broadcaster. And a lot of people do that. Like some people just, I don't want to play the same game all the time, so I'll play this game one night and then another game another night, and that's good for you. But thinking of it as like a community, then you go, okay, well, I'm gonna play Doom. Well, now I got the Doom community. Now I'm gonna play CS:GO. I got the CS:GO community.
Yeah.
People are gonna be, I guess, initially gonna be confused of what you really want to focus on. But there are gonna be some people that maybe will take that big leap. Like I know one person who used to mainly stream Dead by Daylight, and that was it. They moved on to playing MLB 18, the show, on like the baseball game, and he's grown tremendously for that. You have to, yes. Like I'm like, I actually talked to him about like, so what made you take that step? And he was telling me that, well, Dead by Daylight I was growing, but I wanted to venture off and do something else because I didn't want to just play Dead by Daylight, which is, that's what he wants to do. If you want to take that risk and go to something else, you just take that risk and see what happens. He even told me, like, if it wasn't going to work, I'd go back to Dead by Daylight. And then I can say another broadcaster when it comes to Dead by Daylight, they went from Dead by Daylight to speedrunning. And that person had a major success with speedrunning. It just really depends on, like, what you can make of it if you do variety. Like, if you do variety, you gotta, I guess you have to set yourself, like, at least let your community know, like, okay, I'm gonna play this game this day, this game that day, and so forth.
Yeah.
So I always say this too. It's kind of hard to grow in variety, but people make it work.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say people have not been successful because they were variety. No, I could name a couple people that did variety when they first started streaming, and they're successful. But then you have the other people who played a game for like years, and then it got them successful. And then it depends on the person. At the end of the day, whether you're variety, whether you play one game, it's you. It's not the game, it's you.
Right. You're right. I agree to you. I agree with what you're saying for sure. Variety is so much harder to be successful versus someone that sticks to one game. Like I didn't think GTA 5 RP was going to take off as big as it did, but it did. And now it's not huge, but there's definitely a group of people that have found a lot of success because those people that had played GTA 5 RP when it was pretty popular and then stuck with it, but then the bigger streamers kind of trickled to other games and whatnot. Those people that were there for GTA 5 RP ended up going to other broadcasters within that directory and things like that. So I can understand that being variety and trying to do that, but finding one game that you absolutely love and streaming it is probably one of the smarter things to do. But it's also very hard because sometimes you just don't want to play the same game over and over and over. Like I'm sure there's probably there's days where you may or may not want to play Dead by Daylight. You're just like, I want to take a break from Dead by Daylight, and it's definitely it's a scary thought because everybody that kind of comes around your stream might be like, oh, I'm ready to watch Dead by Daylight, but then going to something different, you kind of have like this worry in the back, like, well, are they going to come back? Am I going to be entertaining enough to have them come around or anything like that? But I mean, you definitely have that loyal group of people that'll always come back for you, So,
but on to that point though, is that even if there's days where I'm playing Dead by Daylight and I'm like, and I get frustrated with it, here's the thing: I know that even if let's say I switch games, I know in the back of my head that I just gotta remain positive. That I need to switch to something else because any broadcaster will tell you that your audience can feel your mood when you're streaming. Oh, yeah. So like if you are in a pissed off mood, they're gonna feel bad, or they may leave because they don't want to see you explode, and either like take your clothes off, rub your nipples with the cocoa butter, and just go like all around the room.
Like all right, next time I get upset.
I'm getting like Lily all these like these things like that you do not want to do.
Right. Mocha TOS, dude. TOS, man.
Nobody watches, so I mean it's fine.
Listen, I'm done.
but okay. To this point though, let me bring this kind of with the whole content over everything.
Yeah.
With the fact that even if let me ask you a person, do you look at your numbers while you're streaming?
No. I don't look at anything when I'm streaming.
But Lily, is that the same thing for you?
I keep my numbers on, but I don't care what they are.
Because the reason I ask that is because sometimes you know how the viewer count is kind of screwy with Twitch, right? Sometimes you'll say you'll have these amount of people, but it really is this because it doesn't. I believe what I understood, it calculates every 60 seconds about what your count is. But the point to that is that you could have people who go into unregistered accounts and they literally just watch your stream. So you never, I mean, like for me, I tell some people, like, don't ever look at your account, and especially don't look at your viewer list. I mean, because you just never know. Like somebody may pop in, and you're like, oh my god, this person's here. I gotta fix my hair. I gotta powder my face. I gotta take the drool off my mouth. Like,
right.
It's like, and it feels unnatural to that person watching you. That like, why is this person doing this? Because I'm here. Like, it's like
yeah, I don't. Like I said, like I keep my numbers on, but I act the same whether there's people in here or there's not.
But that's what again too is that regardless of who's there, you just never know who's there, and you just at some point somebody may like I know I have an alt account that I'll go into someone's stream and just watch. Like I don't say anything. I just look at the broadcast and feel them out, see what they're all about. And I'm not the only broadcaster that has it. I know you have an alt account that you used to like stream off of just to test stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
But I know and I've talked to other broadcasters, they like big time broadcasters, they have alt accounts on Twitch that they literally just will log in and they will sit in someone's chat and they will just they're there just to kind of feel you out. And all of a sudden, people I've heard, stories where the broadcaster's done that, and then that person was like this big time streamer, and next time they stream, they host somebody, boom. It's like you just never know who's there. Like there were times where Dead by Daylight was actually in my stream, like the actual channel,
right?
And I didn't know about it. I was like, they were there, and someone actually took a screenshot of the view list and said, yep, they were there. So it's like, you want to always be, be yourself. Never, don't ever feel bad about making fun of yourself because people eat that.
I make fun of myself all the time.
There you go. Like, there's stuff that Neil's different. He just like tells about what I mean, like a million times.
You know what I mean? Hey, you know what I mean?
That could be like a niche for you, right. Or like and it's like, at the end of the day, if you're just doing what you're doing, you feel comfortable, you're in your zone, and you just keep grinding it out. You just never know who could be watching.
I mean, at the end of the day, nobody really knows what I mean. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean.
I don't know.
Exactly. You'd be like, no, I have no idea what you mean. Yeah, well, that's okay. You know what I mean? Like, okay, calm down. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't like to be. I feel like when I stream, I typically go off of the vibe of how active chat is. But the other thing is that certain games that I play, like right now, Overwatch is my thing, right? I try to focus on the game as much as possible, and so I miss chat a lot and every bits and pieces of it, and I feel terrible for it. So I feel like a lot of people, if I don't keep up with chat, they're like, okay, all right, whatever, I'm just gonna go, and like it's usually really, really active during the beginning of stream. Whenever I'm in the first game and whatever, and then it just kind of like fizzles out, and everybody's kind of lurking and just chilling. And whatnot,
oh yeah, but the thing,
it sucks.
But the thing is too that even if, like, let's say you're not reading your chat or you focus on the game, you have to think of this way: there are going to be people where they're not going to care about the game, but they're going to interact with the chat. You're going to have people who are going to be focused on the game, but not going to interact with the chat. And you kind of, sometimes you just got to find that balance. But sometimes you get so into it, you don't read your chat. I mean, sometimes that's fine. It's not a bad thing. Right. I mean, how many, and people tell me, like, hey, Tech, when sometimes they'll say, like, oh, you have these many people in your stream, but only like 5 people are talking. They're called lurkers for a reason. Yeah, it's not. For sure. They some people think lurkers is a bad thing. I said, and then when they keep on telling me, like, oh, Tech, I'm sorry, I had to lurk. I can't talk. Who cares? You're right. If you want to lurk. I don't care. You're a viewer. You're there to listen in. I feel bad for, like, when I'm at work and I'm watching, like, you. I can't I can't talk to people. People are saying hi. I'm like, hi.
Yeah.
They're like, what am I gonna do?
Hello, what's up, everybody? Yeah, it's rough, but at the end of it, like, I think a lot of us are just kind of like, I'm gonna play the game. They're gonna play the game, and if they have an active chat, then they kind of interact with chat as much as possible, but they kind of focus on the game, because as long as you're having fun with the game, I'm usually just kind of like, I lurk all the time. So if I'm watching someone and they're just kind of yeah. If I'm watching someone, it's more or less I'm just watching them kind of interact with the game, and I'm watching them play the game. It's just, that's how I am. And I kind of look at that as when I stream. When I stream, I don't, like I said, I don't always interact with the chat, but I want to have fun with the game, and that in return is kind of like, I'm just going to naturally assume that people that are there that are lurking, kind of like me, would enjoy this kind of content.
See, lucky for you, I know how you talk, so I can mimic you in chat. So it's like, it's okay.
Right, perfect. You right.
You right.
I mean, you're right.
I mean, yeah.
Stop! I feel like you're gonna just copy me the entire time. All right, listen, Tech, you gotta go, dude. It's been an hour. You gotta go do your thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Listen, it's been a pleasure having you on.
Dude, thank you both of you for having me. I like. It's so funny because I like talking to to other streamers and talking about this kind of stuff, because I can't talk about this stuff with my parents. I'm like, what the are you talking about? Like,
oh yeah.
I streamed. Like, what does that mean? I played a game. Like, oh, you're playing video games and you're not doing. Okay.
Yeah, they just don't like. We can even like next time you're on or whatever, we can even talk about like the mental aspect of streaming and how hard it is and the amount of work that goes into like not just streaming but the off-stream stuff, like answering, you know, emails or DMs or trying to make sure people off-stream
stuff means I'm sleeping most of the time.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, so this is yo, dude, listen, guys, I got some off-stream stuff that I gotta take care of. Is you passed out? Got it, Tech. Noted. Dude.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm like on Wednesdays and Sundays when I'm off. I'm like, especially Wednesdays. Like, I'll come home from work. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing my off day. Do some off-stream things. As soon as I hit my chair.
Nice. All right, Tech, again. Oh, go ahead.
Huh?
Nope, I lost my train of thought. You're good. Choo choo.
My bad.
God bless.
All right.
Oh no, my day is off. I just cleaned the house. That's okay. There we go.
There you go.
I'm like, it had something to do with me being off. I don't know.
I mean, being off, hey, you know what I mean?
All right, Tech, calm down.
Whoa. Calm down. Just calm down.
All right. Okay. Was that a shot? Was that okay? I feel like okay. I see what you did. All right. Tech, been a pleasure, man. Hopefully, we can have you on again sometime soon.
Dude, I want to do more. I want to do more of this with you guys.
Dude, of course.
Although I feel bad. Like I didn't hear Lily talk that much. I felt like I took over.
Wow, Tech. It's okay, dude. You're
I feel bad.
It's all good.
You're
man,
fine.
Listen, talk it up, dude. All right, sell yourself, Tech.
I'm Tech Guerrero. Wait, and exclamation point Madridas.
Oh God. Okay.
I heard something about Doritos.
Yeah, Doritos. Yeah.
I like Doritos.
I put on my stomach naked. Anyway.
Now, when this ends, I'm hosting you, just so you know. So don't fail me.
Right.
Okie dokie. Well, thank you guys. I really, really appreciate it. It was fun. I definitely want to do more of these.
For sure, man. For sure. All right. Bye, Tech.
Bye, Tech.
Bye.
All right. I was like,
I know.
Do we just we're gonna talk about Tech behind his back and whatnot.
I do feel bad. Yeah, no, I didn't talk a lot. I don't play Dead by Daylight, so I had no clue what to even say, and I'm just like, well, I'll just sit here and just I'll be the sheep.
There you go.
No, I actually really didn't care. You're fine.
Yeah. So do you want to chill and hang out for like another hour, or what do you want to do?
We can chill for like another half hour. I mean, I wrote down some other things we could talk about.
Let's do it. Let's talk about it. All the things. Do it.
All the things, dude. Fallout 76.
Yeah. Okay, hold up. Okay, you're gonna hate me, but the only Fallout that I really played was Fallout 4, and I don't know if it's gonna like. Okay, don't. Okay, don't. Are you like angrily typing?
Is that what you think?
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, what are your thoughts on it and things like that? What do you got?
Being 100% honest with you, I got like, I'm interested to see. Hope I did that completely wrong. Sorry. Interested to see like what they're getting at, because supposedly it's not supposed to be a single player RPG. It's supposed to be, something that's not single player, whether it's going to be like an MMO style or just online co-op. My idea is it's probably going to be something like State of Decay 2, in a sense where Vault 76 is the vault that's supposed to rebuild, repopulate after a Fallout. So it just makes sense that it would be like an online co-op or like an online survival game where you're there trying to rebuild after the Fallout.
That sounds really interesting and sounds like something I would love to be a part of.
And like, I don't want to be like too excited about it because I could be totally wrong, but I'm not going into this like I did ESO where I'm like, oh, it's gonna be an Elder Scrolls game, and then it wasn't.
So are you, man, I wanna, you good?
Mm-hmm. I promise there's no alcohol in my water.
Oh God, listen, is there alcohol in your water? God bless. I mean, you know, tis the season, tis the day, I guess, right? It's Friday, you know. It looks cool. It looks interesting. Like, I don't have a lot of Fallout background, so I might miss some small things that are here and there with the game. But if it does go the whole route of like a survival type game and
Right.
multiplayer, like that would be so cool. I think that would be amazing, because even though multiplayer, like you don't really need multiplayer for a lot of games and whatnot, like Fallout, you know, may not always need multiplayer, or like even, you know, Detroit Becomes Human or whatever, multiplayer in that, or like God of War if you had multiplayer in that. Not all games need multiplayer, but that aspect of it, where it's like you have to kind of repopulate the world and you kind of go into this whole post-apocalyptic world with a friend. I mean, it seems pretty cool, you know. It's getting all the loot and seeing what you can put together and things like that. Like, I'd be...
Yeah, like that's what I'm hoping it's gonna be like, but I'm not gonna be disappointed either way, because I personally feel like Fallout needed a multiplayer, especially in the latter games. Like in New Vegas, for example. That would have been fun.
Yeah. It was like New Vegas pretty popular. Did a lot of people like that, or was it kind of like a...
I mean, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It seemed... I feel like it's popular because I have a lot of people ask about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So how does that work out? So there's obviously... Is all the Fallouts like in the same general area, or is it like throughout the entire world?
It's... From what I gather, it's throughout the U.S. I could be wrong, though. Because I know, like, 4 was, like, Connecticut or somewhere up there. Supposedly this one is more, like, Midwest. Not necessarily, like, West Virginia, like the stupid song says. But, like, somewhere in there. New Vegas, obviously, was Las Vegas. So it's just kind of all over.
Yeah. Interesting. I would love to see more of it. Did you watch any of the stream? The 24-hour stream that was live?
Maybe.
Oh, no.
Maybe I watched all of it, but like 4 hours? I don't know. Don't judge me.
Yeah, listen. That was honestly a very interesting advertisement ploy, I guess.
Oh, dude, it was worth it. And like the thing is when the stream first started, they had like 100 and some thousand people.
Dang.
And then like they lost it throughout the day, obviously. Right. And then towards the announcement of the stream, they were down to like 40 some thousand, I think.
Really? That's still big.
Yeah. But no, I was sitting here trying to get Agony to work because I could not get it to work, and I was starting to get super frustrated. And then when I looked, I out of the corner of my eye, I saw them like moving, like the table and stuff. Yeah. And like I looked, and they zoomed in a little bit more on the "please stand by" thing, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go back to being mad, and I start fixing this, and then all of a sudden I hear like a person talking, like the actual sound coming from the stream, and I look over and I just sit there and I just cross my arms and I'm like, all right, what are you going to talk about? And then they're like, you know, here's the big announcement trailer for our new game. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. So are you excited? Like, I know you said that you're not trying to get too hyped about it, but are you excited for it? Or are you kind of are you expecting something else?
No, I knew. Okay, so E3 got leaked, in case you didn't know. Yeah. And I saw that there was a Fallout game.
Yeah.
So I had already assumed that there was some sort of Fallout game. But I wasn't entirely sure like what it was going to be, because it was called like Nuevo El Paso or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it wasn't even called Fallout 76. So what I'm thinking happened is they realized it got leaked, or like the leak name was like a code name, maybe.
Ooh, yeah.
Because that would make sense. And then they're like, well, here, since you guys already found out about it, we'll release it 2 weeks early.
Yeah.
But oh my god, with E3 coming up, I'm super excited because there's so many games that they're going to talk about. Yeah. And if I will admit I took a peek at the leaks, and if any of these are true, holy tits, 2018 and 2019 are going to be amazing.
About time, right? About freaking time. I feel like it's been so just bleh with games.
Because I mean, so far this year they've released a lot of good games. God of War, Detroit Become Human, State of Decay 2. So far, I haven't heard anything real bad about that. And then supposedly later this year, you know, you got your Kingdom Hearts 3. Fallout's supposed to be coming out this year. The new Pokemon games for the Switch are going to be out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about those.
Yeah, a lot of good games coming out. One thing that I was like I did also look at the leak of E3. One of the things I was kind of not really interested in, but like kind of perked up
I
my
swear to God, if you say World of Warcraft on the PS4, I'm going to punch you.
What is that all about? Is that like
I have no idea.
Why is that even a thing? I mean, I guess it's a thing. You might as well reach out to everybody. But do you think?
Well, I mean, with how dumbed down they made WoW, it wouldn't surprise me. It'd be easy to play on the controller, just like Final Fantasy 14. Oh wait, that tanked on the PS4.
Oh yeah, yikes! You ever played Neverwinter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be something like that, like kind of. You know, it's I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll
I don't
see.
know.
Yeah. But like the one game that I'm like super like obviously I'm really interested in is The Last of Us 2, but there's also rumor of it being released in 2019. Also, within that time that there might be a new console being released at that time as well, around that time. I don't see that being a thing.
I do.
Yeah.
God, I really hate saying it. I have a feeling it's going to be Microsoft dropping a console next year.
Oh God. I mean,
and I have to explain this to people, so like bear with me on this.
Yeah.
The cost of the Xbox One drops way faster than the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Simply put it, Xbox just pumps systems out like baby mamas. Like you had the original Xbox, you know, it was a 500 gig system. And then like it was like almost a half year later, same model, 1 terabyte. Yeah. And then like a half year after that, oh, here's the S because everybody's bitching about how big the Xbox One is, but it's only a 500 gig system. Half year later, oh, here's an S 1 terabyte. And, you know, a couple months after that, oh, hey, here's the Xbox One X. You know, Sony's like 500 gig system, 1 terabyte slim, the PS4 Pro. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they threw in a couple special consoles that had special hard drive sizes. Yeah. But they weren't like, you know, it wasn't like every 6 months they're pumping out a system. It was like, what? This has been a span of like 4 years, give or take? Yeah. Something like that. So it's like the prices of Xbox just dropped so much faster because Microsoft's like, gotta pump them out. And Sony's just like, no, we're gonna take our time and make sure, you know, everything goes.
Yeah. Do you think there's gonna be like a whole other console, like a PS4 or the PS5?
I can almost promise you it's gonna be the next gen console.
Yeah.
Like, I have a feeling it's gonna be either the PS5 or it's gonna be that whatever they're gonna call the Xbox. But I really almost want to put money on it's going to be Xbox that's going to be pumping out the next gen system first.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I just feel like Microsoft and the Xbox is struggling with their games. Like, there's not a lot of there isn't a lot of exclusives for Microsoft. I mean, there's Sea of Thieves and there's State of Decay 2.
Right.
But you know, PS4 has been killing it with exclusives with like God of War and Detroit Become Human and other games that aren't released yet, but I haven't seen a whole lot of stuff that I'm really excited for with Microsoft. And to be honest, my Xbox One, I can't tell you the last time I've turned on my Xbox. You know? Granted, I play on a Windows computer, you know, and like I support it that way, but my Xbox literally gets no use out of me.
None of my systems get use besides my PC.
Yeah, I mean, only recently has my PS4 been getting a lot of love lately with, you know, the God of War and Detroit Become
Mm-hmm.
Human and things like that. But I just, it sucks because, you know, as much as like I want to be, I don't want to be a PC elitist or whatever. Like I want to play a game that I absolutely love. I don't mind where it is, a quality for all. It's just, it sucks to see, and it's sad to see that Microsoft really isn't developing a game solely for Microsoft, and Sony's just kind of like taking it out and just running away with the whole, like, this is our console and this is a gorgeous game, and we could do things that are very pretty and very good. And, you know, you kind of look at Microsoft and like, well, what do you have?
So, okay. I mean, with that being said, do you prefer Sony or do you prefer Microsoft?
If you ask me right now, I'd say Sony.
Okay, what if I was to ask you, I don't know, like a year ago? Xbox or Sony?
To be honest, if I had to pick, I would probably still say Sony.
I mean, don't feel bad. I'm in the same boat. I would definitely say Sony. Yeah. I think they take more pride.
Yeah.
With what they do and like the titles they get, because they have a lot more exclusives.
Yeah. And if you would have asked me the time where the 360 and the PS3 was out, I would say Microsoft, because a lot of my friends had a 360 over a PlayStation. Well, actually, a lot of them both had the same systems, but we played a lot of like Gears of War and Destiny and Halo and things like that on there. When the PS3 was out, we didn't really play a lot on there, you know? So it was kind of like, at that point, Microsoft kind of took it away with like Halo, the Gears of War, and Destiny, because we're all just like, you know, we already knew what we wanted, and that's that. But once the PS4 came out and the Xbox One came out, I mean, really didn't play a ton of games on the console, but now it's more or less, I'm on my PS4 way more than my Xbox and whatnot. So it's all about exclusivities. And
that's such a fun word.
It's a hard word. It took me I had to really think about that.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, it's all about those exclusivities, you know, and right now Sony's just killing it, and I don't know what Microsoft's going to do to like counteract that.
Yeah, no, I have absolutely no idea. I mean, there was a lot of hype for State of Decay 2. So, you know, Microsoft had that, but Sony had God of War, Detroit Become Human. They're going to have Shadow the Tomb Raider. You know, there's a lot more exclusives that are known right now. I mean, yeah, Kingdom Hearts, you know, technically it used to be a Sony exclusive, but now it's coming out to the Xbox. And then with Xbox nowadays, you know, you can buy a game and you get a PC version. You know, State of Decay 2 is that way, Gears of War was that way, Halo 5 was that way. So it's like both consoles have their perks, but personally I'm more of a Sony person right now because they're just prettier and they care a little bit more, I feel, with what games are pumped out.
Yep. We'll see. We'll see. I just don't think E3 is going to be in Microsoft's favor. I think it's just, kind of like last year where Sony just blew it out of the water. I feel like Sony's going to do the exact same thing.
It's going to be Sony and Nintendo this year.
Yeah. I think the Switch will have a lot of stuff.
Oh my god, the stuff that let's go. Let's go! The Let's Go series. Oh my god, I'm so excited about that. Yeah. I'm totally getting the Eevee one.
Yeah. That's the thing, is like, I wish I got more into like Nintendo stuff and things like that, but I feel like that's, I don't know. I have a different taste, I guess. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, listen, the Switch is pretty badass. I wish I had a Switch just for the portability of it, because I would love to just play games in bed.
I love mine.
There you go. See? You did it.
Oh my god. And especially, like, with the portability, it's nice to have full console games, in a sense, on a portable system. Like, yeah, there's a DS, and for the most part, the DS had, you know, console quality games, but like this is different. Like this is sit-at-home console quality on its own little screen and the little controllers that you can just like hold up and just like, yeah, look at me.
Yeah. the only thing that I really portable wise gaming that I really got into was the PSP, like way back when.
You know, I'm having a lot more people ask about the PSP.
Really?
Right? That was
Weird. That is
every time.
why.
I think, like, in the past month, like, I've had, like, 5 or 6 people ask me about PSPs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why do you want a PSP? Like, the Vita's here, and the Vita has more, like, it's just better. Like,
Yeah.
it was super weird. I'm like, I have no clue why you're asking about a PSP.
Yeah. I mean, before that, I had the Game Gear. You know, that was
holy shit.
Yeah, I still have it somewhere.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I had a Game Gear, but I never had a Game Boy. That's something that I always wanted, but never got a Game Gear. Or not a Game Gear, a Game Boy. I really wanted a Game Boy Color, like really bad when I was younger, but I never got one. I got like science books. I'm like, okay, thanks.
Oh my god. I had to buy like my own game system, so like I saved up my money.
Yeah.
And bought, oh my god, what was it? I bought the Game Boy Color, and then my parents got me the SP, and that was the and the first generation DS. So those were the only 2 systems that my parents ever bought me. Everything else I bought myself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. The PSP I bought everything minus the Game Gear my parents bought me, but I bought that refurbished. I bought that from a Replay. I don't know if anybody even has that anymore.
Oh wow.
I think that was like a local thing. I bought it refurbished from a local game store, and then I had a Sega Genesis that I don't think I got new, but I could have gotten new. I can't even remember. And the PlayStation 1 they bought me, and then after that is when I bought everything. The PlayStation 2 I bought myself, my Xbox 360 I bought myself, and then Up. But
you bought Up? Like, that was such a good movie.
Yeah, you know, I actually never saw that movie, but I've heard good things.
Well, that's good. I mean, it's okay. Like, it's okay that you haven't watched it.
Yeah, thank you. Freaking everybody's like, you haven't seen what movie? I'm like, listen, calm down. All right.
Some movies, I'm like, what? Like, one of my friends just now saw Super Troopers, Spaceballs, and Airplane, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. You know what movie I actually saw recently? That's an old school movie. Is Clue.
Oh.
Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just recently saw that.
I'm sorry.
I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was great. I thought it was so funny. But yeah, as far as like systems and whatnot, I think the one that I really loved was my PSP. You know, I could download like videos and put it on there. I could put my own music on there. I could, you know, watch movies. We could buy those and things like that. But there wasn't like a ton of games I mean, I use it more for multimedia than anything.
Mm-hmm. That's that was just great. Like somewhere around here we have oh my god, I don't remember what it is. It's like some sort of it's one of the Chinese kung fu movies for PSP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kung Fu Panda? No.
No.
Well, not.
It's like Fist of the Dragon or something.
Whoa, okay, calm down. Fist of the what?
Dragon, you know? Rawr, I'm a big scary dragon. I eat princesses.
Yep, right. Yeah, I don't know. I want to be excited for more console stuff, I guess, coming out, but I don't know. I don't know. Anything else you wanted to talk about or brush up on?
Shaq Fu's coming out in a few days.
What?
I'm like weirdly excited about it too. Like I remember like when it came out, that game was awful. It's literally has gone down as like one of the worst games ever.
Yeah.
I crap you not. So like this one is like basically like a retelling of the game with like updated graphics and stuff. And like they showed like the intro scene, and it's just like it's so cool. And I can't tell if Shaq's really into it or if he's just like putting on a persona. But when he talks about it, like he gets like super detailed. Like, I'm the master of this and the student of this person, and then he starts talking about how he's like a size like 25 shoe, and I'm like, dude, we all know you have big feet because you are like 8 feet tall. Like,
right. I mean, it just makes sense. You know, that's
dude.
crazy. I feel like it's, I don't know. It might be somewhat successful. It's gonna be one of those things that are so bad that it's gonna be so good.
God, I hope so.
I would love to check that out. I would maybe not myself, but I would love to watch certain people play it and just see their reaction to it and like how bad it is, or you know how good I guess it could be. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm super interested to see like what they're doing. Like, oh my god. Yeah.
Cool. That is kind of weird though. That is interesting.
I'm excited.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
Nothing that I can think of. What about you? Anything for you?
One other thing, real quick. I did play Bless Online.
Yeah.
I ended up buying it. Okay. And I'll be 100% honest. I don't mind it.
Wow.
That bad. It's definitely like, okay, it could be prettier. It could be more optimized. It could be more up to date and things like that. But I don't know. It has this kind of like potential that I see that I'm kind of like, okay, it's not too bad. The combat system's a little wonky. It's like Black Desert Online to me, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But like what I've been kind of saying is it's definitely a watered down version of Black Desert Online. Right now, as far as combat system, I don't know about like everything. There's also the most basic MMO out there. It's run here, talk to this person, kill these things, run here, turn in a quest, get a loot item.
I'll have to check that out.
It's one of those things where it's like, I personally am having an okay time with it. I don't mind it too much.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm afraid that since you're a veteran MMO player, you know what I mean? You have a lot of experience with a lot of MMOs, that it might hinder your thought on the game, where it's not, I don't want you to like compare it to like other games and things like that, even though I compared it to Black Desert Online.
I'm normally like a really good judge of MMOs. So like a great example is I can compare BDO to Terra because the combat system's the same. I can compare Rift to ESO because like the system's the same. Like I'm not like, oh well, this game's not this game, so therefore it sucks. No, I'm like, I'm usually a really good judge.
Yeah, and that's one of those things where it's like when I recommend games, I start thinking about like, I don't want to give them the wrong impression of the game because I personally like it, and so and so might not like it because they like certain things. So I always say, I'm always one of those people where it's like, I want to try it for myself rather than take. There are definitely gonna be people that I have opinions that I will take their opinions to heart, and I'll be like, okay, well, I kind of respect their opinion because we kind of have the same taste. But I'm also that kind of person where I'll take that opinion, but then I would love to test it out myself and kind of feel for it, on my own and things like that, and just kind of like have my own opinion on the game. So I'm glad I bought the game and I'm playing it. I haven't gotten too far into the game, so like I haven't done a dungeon yet. I think my max right now is like level 10, so I still have a bit more of the game to get into. But I think one of the biggest things a lot of people are complaining about is like there's no end game content. So
it's still not completely out yet, right?
Yeah, it's still early access, and like air quotes, early access. Everything's in early access, but we'll see if it gets finished. But yeah, so far I'm having a good old time with it. I'm not having a bad time at all, but it is definitely, it has its bugs, it has its FPS drops in certain areas and things like that. There are definitely some games that are much prettier than the game. Like Black Desert Online is a gorgeous game. and you know, Bless Online is beautiful in its own sense, but hopefully they start optimizing it a bit more and maybe adding I'm not necessarily more content, but fixing it up a bit. So I'm having a good old time with it, and I'll probably end up playing that when I'm done with this podcast, to be honest.
Yeah, I think we're gonna play Stardew Valley. I don't know yet.
Ooh, oh, that has. Have you guys tried it yet, or is this your first time?
Yeah. Oh no, we've been playing so much. I'm dating a villager finally.
You know what? There you go. Get it, girl.
It took so much fishing.
Oh my god.
No, because like one of his favorite dishes is sashimi. So like you have to catch fish in order to make sashimi, and it was just so much fishing and yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go. All right. Solid podcast.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Do you want to talk about yourself?
Yeah. Hello, my name's Anil. Per usual, what's up? Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Anil_. Also follow me on Twitter at Anil_Forsaken. I usually stream in the morning, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Right now, a lot of Overwatch, but I'm starting to pepper in some games.
Oversalt.
Yeah, like, it's bad, but I'm starting to pepper in some other games and whatnot too. So if you enjoy the podcast and enjoy all the things, be sure to just drop a follow. All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Unicorn Muffin. You're on my Twitch, so I don't really need to link it to you. There's all of my stuff there. I stream whenever. Like this week, this is my first stream, and I felt so bad. Like I noticed, like I didn't change any of my anythings from last month's or last week's or whatever stuff. So I'm like really bad at streaming, but that's okay. It happens. I plan on streaming more. Like I tell everybody, and I tell myself every day, stream more, and then it just never happens. But I'm a variety streamer. I do a little bit of everything. But that's about it. Yay. I'm boring.
Oh, you're good. Play Agony. It's gonna be your new mainstream. Or your new main game.
My new main game, yeah.
There you go.
But no, that's it. That was a fantastic episode, and we will see you all next week. Maybe. Yay. Hopefully.
Yes.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.